Hi Bruna, congrats on winning the contest. As you know, you've won 5 video reviews like this one for whenever you want it. So whenever you have an animation that you want me to analyze, just tag me or send me a message and I'll do a video feedback just like this one. So for this animation, I have to say I really like it. You did a great job implementing the feedback that I gave and your own judgment, polishing and finishing the animation. So really great done. I really like the flow, the how you coordinated the music with the movements. Really well done. The timing and the movements, the contrast on fast and slow movements, and you have really nice overlaps. So really great. Like this animation is really great done. So I'm just gonna point out few things that I think could be improved, but yeah, this is really great done. So let's start. There is something that I want to talk about here, but because this is the phrase, I need to analyze the movement, so I'll analyze it a bit later, because this one is the first pose. So okay, for this one, first thing I want to say is see how the arm raises. At this point, the shoulder should be already raised up here. Because as you see here, you see how the shoulder raises here. Now is when the shoulder raises, but in reality, the shoulder should raise with the arm. So in this frame, the shoulder should be already raised. So just adjust that. Also, about the hips, I really like the movement, how you polish the feet and everything. About the hips, I would like to see to give a bit more intensity, like the dance, a bit more those push, that contrast in the spacing. What I would like to see is when she plants the foot, see when the foot is already planted, see here, boom, this is the first frame where the foot is on the place that is gonna be. Boom, this is the first frame. So I would like to see the rotation of the hips. See how the hips rotate with a very even spacing. The hips rotate with a, like in this direction, rotating up with a quite even spacing. So I would like to see when she plants the feet in this frame, create a bigger spacing, and the next frame as well. So I would like to see like the 2 frames where the foot is planted and the next frame, speed up the spacing, make it a bit bigger, so we see the contrast, like she plants the foot and we see the hips react to it. So it's not gonna be too much of, like, it's not, I don't want it to be too intense, but I would like to see the contrast. Like we could see that when she plants the foot, boom, the hips speed up a bit for 2 frames the movement. So you will have boom, boom, the hips rotate much more here, and then you have the easing, the slowing to the rotation, all this part. So it would be pretty much as you have it, just a matter of adjusting the spacing these 2 frames so that the hips rotate a bit more. And I analyzed it here, but throughout the whole animation, just go every time that the foot plants itself, just make sure that the frame that the foot plants and the next frame, the hips rotate a bit faster, so we see the weight of the character as she plants the foot, and that would create a bit more contrast in the animation. So for example here, you see how the foot plants, and I would like to see the hips rotating a bit faster. Okay, so moving on, see how the arm raises here. Nice. I would like to see maybe in this frame a bit more of a drag in the hand. Maybe not that much, but yeah, a bit more drag on the hand, because right now I feel the wrist is a bit rigid at this point. So I would like to see a bit more drag in this frame. Then keep the drag on the hand. Sorry for the drawing, I'm with the mouse, so I'm doing what I can. But what I wanted to say is this movement, I would like to see the inertia keep going up. So see how the arm feels like it goes up and then gets stuck and starts to move down again. So I would like to see the inertia keep moving up. So I will maybe intensify the drag here on the lower arm, so we see more of an angle here on the elbow. I would like to see this as well a bit, just a little bit. Yeah, that would be more like, yeah, something like that. And then we see how the arm here straightens up a bit, so it bends these frames, this couple of frames, the arm bends a bit. So, and then these frames, the arm starts to, because here as well, maybe not only the arm, but you can bend a bit the lower arm a bit more, so it's not the only the wrist dragging, but we can see a bit more of a bend in the lower arm. Again, sorry for the drawings. Yeah, so we see a bit more the drag on the lower arm, a bit more drag, and then the lower arm starts to straighten a bit, and then we see the elbow keep moving up. The key point is to see the elbow keep moving up this frame until, and then maybe this frame, not this frame, this one is too exaggerated. So see how the see something like that, so that we see a bit more of the inertia of the arm keep moving up, and then the arm bends, maybe not that much here, maybe I wouldn't bend it that much. But you see, I think you see the point of making a bit more, and then as you have it, but creating that a bit more of a easing on the arm and elbow, and then hopefully you can see what I tried to draw, creating that wave motion in the arm a bit more. And also maybe if I'm dragging here, yeah, no, that's fine. So same in this movement up. The next thing I would say is with this arm, see how here, if you drag the elbow, really nice, the movement, but you see how boom, the elbow then pops in this frame. So it feels there is quite a big spacing and goes from bent to straight, so it feels like a pop. So I would reduce the movement of the arm, so the arm would be a bit more to the right here. So we would see a bit much more smaller spacing on the elbow, and then this frame could start to move to the right as you have it, but would be a bit more to the right because this frame is also a bit more to the right. And then as you have it, really nice. And I really like this with the hand, like the hand pose that you made. I think it adds a really nice touch to the dance. Maybe as the hand starts to go down, maybe as the hand starts to go down here, these frames, maybe I would here not have the hand making this gesture, maybe unroll the fingers a bit, so you have the fingers a bit curled here. As the arm starts to move down, you uncurl the fingers a little bit, so you have a bit more contrast. So because I see how you unroll them here in this transition, but I think it would be nice if we could see the fingers unrolling. So the fingers are rolled here, and then as these frames, we see the arms curling back, so we see a bit more movement on the fingers. I think would be nice, would be a nice touch, because we would be able to see the movement on the fingers. Yeah, really nice, all this. Okay, so then to the next part, there will be the head. See how the head, when the head moves, see when the head moves, feels like it rotates and then stops, rotates and stops really suddenly. And I would like to add a bit more fluidity to the rotations of the head. And I think the main thing is the head rotates with the body. See how the head rotates at the same time with the body, pretty much, and stops when the body stops, pretty much. Although maybe you have a bit of overlap, but the thing is, see how the last frame that the head moves, there is a big spacing, and then you have one frame of a very small spacing, and then the head gets stuck. So maybe adjust the rotations of the head, so when it rotates, you have a bit more easing to the rotations, so it doesn't have this spacing and then just one frame of easing that you have. Maybe don't rotate this much in this frame, keep the head a bit more to the right, and then have a couple more frames where the head eases in with a very small spacing. Doesn't have to be big spacing, but a bit more frames, because right now we only have one frame where the head eases into the pose. I would like to see a couple more frames where the head, every time the head rotates, we see a bit more slow-ins to each rotation. So that would be with the head. See the rotations side to side, that they feel that they stop very suddenly. And then about the foot, okay, one thing here, see how this foot is not planted yet, but this one is starting to move. And this, I think, because the thing is this foot, there's something wrong about the keys, because right now it feels like you made that in this pose, it feels like it's already on the place, but it keeps moving to the left. And see this frame where it moves a lot to the left. So I think you have a bit of an issue there. Just make sure that whenever there's make sure this is the pose where the foot has to be, then make sure that before this foot is lifted, this foot has to be already planted, because we can't lift one foot without the other one planted. So if this foot starts to move in this frame, then if this one is the first frame moving, then by this frame, this foot has to be on the final place. So this foot should be already here. Sorry for the drawing, but yeah, this pose here, this place here, the foot should be in this pose already here, because before she lifts this foot. Okay, I think that was clear. Okay, that's the main thing. Yeah. And other than that, I think that was the feedback. So really great done. Can't wait to see more of your animations now that you have five video feedbacks like this one. So whenever you want a video feedback, just let me know. And until the next time, really great job.